So this week we're in Tokyo. Yeah, I'm back in my second home in Tokyo. So we're out of the forest. We usually film by the fire. And we will have the 5D, 5-dimensional updates in section 2. And now we're going to go directly into this week for your sign, filmed in Tokyo during Mercury retrograde. A lot of challenges communication-wise, a lot of love for us all, if we dare to open up. Welcome to the show. Welcome to your sign. Hi there, Taurus, and welcome to this week's astrological forecast for the week that starts at the 26th of November and ends at the 3rd of December 2018. Here we are in Japan now. Look, it's a typical Japanese way of constructing a house. And since your sign also has to do with, creating stable, and also, even though it's Cancer, that's a house thing, you also have a family here and constructions and stability. So I always thought of Taurus as also a little bit like that. Consider houses because of the fundament and the stability that any Taurus that I've ever met always creates. But anyways, this week we're going to draw 2 tarot cards, one astrology card actually, and one tarot card. We have them here. I had to go indoor. I was filming outdoor because it's freezing here in Japan. The temperatures go up and down like crazy sometimes. It can have a change of 15 degrees Celsius in one day. So you can go from wearing t-shirt to having a winter jacket on the next day, which was the case. And if you're new to the channel, I'm Danish and I usually film the reports near a fireplace. I'm a shaman, so I love the nature. But I also live in Tokyo with my family half of the time or more. But nature is definitely my favorite. And Japanese people love the shisen nature. We're going to see a little bit of Tokyo in the video this week. Welcome. So, instead of looking at me, let's look at the nature while I'm talking. Or at least the nature that we have, because it's not that much in the city, but enough for a big city like Tokyo, don't you think? Anyways, the Uranus is the planet of surprises. From the middle of May till the 7th of this month, actually November, you had a taste of how it was to feel this more provocative side to your approach to life. With Uranus in your sign, but now out of your sign for half a year until March 2019. But the Venus, your ruler, is an earth sign, and it's fixed, but at the same time, of course, earthy and sensual and loving, but it has this fixed stability that you want. So since the beginning of the year, you were forced to be more adventurous and more daring and let more loose and trust more in that. You were able to have faith in God in the process, or whatever you want to call it, in yourself, in life, because you couldn't count on the stabilities you usually can. And with Saturn in your 9th house, you're fearful of changes and sticking to what you know is best, because Saturn wants structure, he just wants, what's realistic and the best, and not too many surprises and stuff like that. But the Sun and Jupiter together in your 8th house is about transformation at a deeper level. So Sun is in the heart of this 8th house, Jupiter growth area of Sagittarius. Over the next year, you're going to find out with Jupiter here what's important for you and others. In your relationship with others on a deeper level. As I'm saying this, I'm filming a triangle. I hope that will be a good combination as we have with the trine normally. But Jupiter is luck around business and the more speculative parts of your scope. So this means that you also have to look at the downsides. when you're speculative, of course, before you invest. So you stick to natural instincts around things with more caution. And Mars is in the futuristic part of your horoscope with Neptune, the planet of dreams. So there's a better connection here in the social sector, groups of people, friends. You will have a better connection with your friendships. But not all relationships are good for your security sense. So take the right players in the right situations that really make sense, instead of just, which is not your style, but I'm just saying it anyway, jumping into whatever. You want to have this security sense, and you also, with Uranus out of your sign for half a year, because it's going to be back and be there for 7 years, it's a good time to make sure that things are secure, of course. But if you choose the right person and the right situation for things, don't worry, there's nothing to worry about. You can definitely take advantage of the Jupiter in this area. The 8th house is about investments, and it's also about investing money in, for example, pension and long-term financial investments. And Jupiter here will definitely make you think long-term. And it's good to have it here for half a year before Uranus returns and make things a little unstable, not only for you, but for all of us collectively in the money sector of Taurus. Taurus is the money sector of the zodiac, but it's more like day-to-day money, how you use money on a daily basis, and how you earn your own personal money where you don't share it with others. Let's take the cards of the week while I'm talking. Let's shuffle the cards. We'll take one astrology card and one tarot card of the week. I hope you can hear me well enough, even though I don't have the professional equipment here. We will turn up the volume, and I'm sorry for any noise. But if you choose the right person or the right people, you will see that your chance to transform things in a steady and progressive manner will be quite strong. But with the Mars-Jupiter square, of course, you have to avoid carefreeness. It's not your style to be carefree, Taurus, but Mars just want to thrust forward full throttle, and Jupiter, yeah, he's just like saying woo on the back seat, and they are just moving forward like how they want to have a party. So try not to be too carefree when you spend money, and just pick the right people for this. We also have a quarter moon square later this week. I will draw the cards before I interpret them. And this is something to do with your love life. So if something in your attitude is stuck, or someone is being oppressive, try to be more open. Uranus is in opposition again with Venus, your ruler, in this between the 6th and the 12th house. So someone is more psychological about something, is more psychological and introverted, and more, maybe even more spiritual about a love relationship and desire. So make sure you're at ease with things here. Transformation is good, but don't rush into anything, even though we have Uranus, Mars and Jupiter as important players this week. You know you like it stable, Taurus. So let's see. Ooh, interesting. So, oops, just a second. We have the moon this week. So this is definitely probably referring to the quarter moon that we have, because that is the most important thing that the moon is doing this week. So it's something around your love life. You shouldn't be stuck, and be more like open. If someone tries to oppress you in some way, then take it in the light where you can see that there might be two situations that you're juggling, maybe two people. I don't know if you're someone you're in love with and you're in another relationship, or maybe it's just like two people, relations, that you are gonna find that you are having to juggle with, but you do it with ease, because this guy doesn't seem to have a problem with it. But you can also be a little sensitive about it from the influences of the moon, of course. So again, just use your groundedness and also that lightness that you have when you have to juggle two situations at the same time. First and foremost, of course, the most important thing is don't follow trends, follow your heart. See you next week, Taurus. I'll see you in section 2 of this program. Thanks for watching for now. Welcome to section 2, 5D updates for you. So as I said before, Mars is in Pisces now, since the 15th of November. That is the 12th house collectively. And as we're talking about the 5D, and this is a program where we will every week go into how to upgrade and update your 5D, then prayer is something very important here. And for 5D, the 12th house is essential. So Mars being our actions, our motivation, getting things done with self-esteem, wanting to push forward, energy, then yes, of course, we need to talk about Mars and Pisces in regards to the 5D upgrade. With Mars and Pisces, we are less motivated to go after the 3D goals. We are more motivated to pursue the spiritual or more emotional drives during this cycle. And it's gonna go on until we reach January, where Mars is returning to Aries. So we should always try, or we could always try to take advantage of wherever a planet goes, and whenever a planet enters a certain field, there's certain doors that just opens that much easier. That's why I make these reports, for you to be notified about what you can take advantage of now. Our energy during a phase like this is more variable rather than straightforward, and also up and down. We dislike confrontation during this period, which is good, because Mars often gets into a battlefield. So we often put other people's needs ahead of our own during this cycle. So that is our more idealistic side that comes to the forefront. But prayer has also got to do with the 12th house. And why is it important to pray? And what is prayer? Well, a prayer keeps us connected with our higher selves, that knows which way we are meant to go, and thereby detaches us from our egos, the source of our desires being our egos and wishes, that are often disconnected with conscious and fully open contact with Source, Creator, Master, God, whatever you want to call it. We're reminded of what we came here to this planet Earth, this beautiful planet, to develop towards on the path. Well, if we surrender ourselves 100% completely, as we close our eyes and quiet our minds and say a prayer, you might have a fixed prayer, or you will have a prayer that is a prayer of your heart, coming from your heart. Maybe it's a prayer for someone else that you love to be in a better state or to get well. A prayer is always that much stronger when it comes from the true space of an open mind and open heart. Because if it stems from the ego, you will probably attract something that your ego needs and not your higher self, and that won't ever get you going any further forward. So of course, before finding out what you want to pray to, I mean, within different traditions, there are different prayers already handed to us if we need help. But it's a good idea to get to know that you're in contact with that side of yourself that you really want to move forward with, so that your prayer also get aligned with that. Let's say you choose to pray for that you can be less selfish and more selfless. It can also be that you pray for that you are less reactive and more responsive from the heart. It can also be that you want to go from restlessness into peacefulness, from darkness into light, or from heaviness to lightness. These would be the kind of prayers that would come from your higher self. These are the kind of prayers that our higher selves often wish for, because the higher self knows that if we make prayers like this, it's the same as getting fully into alignment with our higher selves. Because our higher selves are light, are peaceful, are selfless. That is the essence. What we are outside of our 3D bodies, our ego, our mind. I'm not saying that we should not use the mind. I'm just saying that there should be a balance, a natural balance. It is not natural for a tool to be in charge, and the mind is a tool we can use when we need it. We made it as us, as something that we identify with. But it is not. We can close the door and open it only when we need this tool. There are places where it's easier for us to connect with our higher selves. For instance, where I usually do the reports, the weekly reports, is in the nature, or where I have been doing it for the last months since I went away from Tokyo last time. So much easier, because in nature we are in harmony with ourselves, because it's natural there. Our heart beats naturally, our breath gets into natural alignment with all there is. Sometimes in the bigger cities, when we're around people who are also affected by the inevitable noise and vibrations coming from all sides, disturbing our natural harmony, well, the ego takes over so much more easy. This week, for the first week in a long time, I'm filming from Tokyo, but also here I can see the beauty. Even though we have modern buildings, you can see the aesthetics and the beauty and how they're shaped, and the lights in the night. Find what is mysterious here. Find what calls for the heart. Find what makes you sing. Find the nameless in the city full of names and signs. You can give yourself the time to let time fly. Release yourself from the 3D linear time and go into synchronistic time. As I said last week, that time where you wait for the signs, you don't make your ego react and take the choices, make the calls, unless you really have to, because we still live in a 3D world. But whenever you're able to, listen to the signs instead of your mind. Listen to your heart. Listen to your higher self. Be quiet. Quiet your mind, so that you can hear your heartbeat. If you want to jump off the train and come to another level, time is now to find the stillness. Believe that you dare let go of your ego and listen to the needs of your higher self. Do you dare to become a servant for something bigger than the ego? Something that a part of you already know the road towards. Do you know what your call is? What is your call? Mercury retrograde is here to bring chaos and confusion to your winter holidays, they say. But not just that. It's also here to make you reconsider how you can communicate on another level with wisdom instead of the old patterns of communication. Benefits will come that exceeds the goals of finding peace once you dare to listen to your higher self. I swear to you, that journey is so much more beautiful than any journey your mind can imagine. Maybe you want you want to get out of a stressful life and into a peaceful life. Maybe you want mental clarity. Maybe you want to find this inner peace. But I tell you, if you allow yourself to find the right tools to get into your higher self, there's a prize that you will get far, far bigger than anything you can feed your ego with, something that will last. I found my way through following the signs of synchronicity for 20 years. I used meditation, I used yoga, I used kindness above it all. I fell many times, fell through, but I got up again and I continued to follow my dreams in my heart and inspire people towards kindness, towards their calling, towards the life that is natural for us to live in harmony and balance, in love and kindness, where joy lifts us up and cleans us, where we take responsibility in our relationships and live conscious relationships. But the choice is yours. You can make the difference around you, all around you, but you have to make the choice. The choice is yours. Every day, every time you speak to someone, every time you do anything, you can choose to be aware. You can choose to be in a meditative state or a 5D state where you feel that your body is just, what do we say? We call hylster in Danish. What is it called in English? Just a shell. The soul is so much greater, wider, bigger, and wiser. Write me privately if you want me to find a meditational teacher for free, a free one somewhere near you, no matter where you live, if you want to try to use this tool that I have. There are many tools. As long as you follow your heart, then you know you're on the right path. Thank you. Arigatou gozaimasu, as we say in Japan. Don't follow trends, follow your heart. Hugs. Neptune retrograde is also this month, or this week actually, that it goes forward again after 5 months. November 25th, it turned forward to move forward. And Neptune rules over spiritual evolution, over personal transformations and dreams. When it goes retrograde, it takes away delusions and makes room for realities in these areas. Neptune retrograde will have pushed you into doing things and getting real, rather than just spending your time thinking and dreaming about your future in the areas it has been touching in your life personally. Neptune retrograde clash with the effects of Mercury retrograde because they are in square, and also for the qualities of these two. During Mercury retrograde, we're encouraged to take things slow, think everything through, and reflect, revise, reconsider. Uranus, who we also have in retrograde, is all about change, so different from Neptune retrograde. Neptune retrograde gives us the energy to get things done. It's been a good idea to take to still take things slow during the last 5 months, to not don't do or say anything big without giving it a lot of consideration. The Mercury retrograde can mess with our ability to have serious conversations, to truly understand what people are trying to say to us. 3 times a year it goes retro, changing speed in its orbit around the sun, making it look like it moves backwards. This change affects us all here on Earth: communication, movement, and technology issues. Any general feeling of confusion gets to come up. On November the 16th, Mercury went retrograde for the last time this year. So this will have an effect on all of us. And it's not bad at all. I mean, it's not only bad. Because, of course, I'm standing here in an airport and everything is delayed, and I'm in another plane because the other plane didn't come, and so many things. But at the same time, I have been solving so many communication issues. Mercury retrograde is about taking things slow. That's why delays come, and thinking and reflecting upon the past. So this period isn't the best time to make a life-changing decision or to start something new, although you might be feeling certain changes due to the Venus now forward and Mars out of his cycle. But seen from the Mercury aspect, it's a good time to go over things, question your motives, and look into your soul. Speak with your higher self to see what you want to continue doing. Mercury retrograde gives us the opportunity to improve how we communicate our messages, our whole essence, and our energy vibrations to others. Reflecting and figuring out how to proceed with your life is a great way to end a year, a cycle, even though this year, or the new year as we call it, isn't an astrological new year, because this is in Mars, where the astrological year cycle ends with Pisces, starts with Aries in the second part of March, or the latter part of March. But it's a really good starting point in getting a fresh start as we enter January, where Aries will also get back into his sign and start over new. Of course, Mercury retrograde will affect some more than others. Learning to walk again. Many signs have felt these times as learning to walk again, taking things slowly. I have heard 3 of my personal clients tell me these words during the last couple of weeks. I am learning to walk again. Not only learning to communicate all over, but to walk our talk. And physically, for me, with my knee operations, to walk again in a new way. Venus is in Libra, is moving forward. And until the 18th, she's still in her cycle. But she's finding balance. We are finding balance in our relationships. How's this going on for you? Now in December, we are going to have her in the sign of Scorpio once again. Interesting. Because this is another energy. She's at home here in Libra. But on the 2nd of December, she moves back into Scorpio to go very deep on a level where we will transform. Thank you.
There is this angel saying, I'm gonna find my way back home. The secret is love, he said. You've got to lift yourself up, try again, one day you will break.
No sigas las tendencias, sino tu corazón.